Good evening and welcome to the Discovery Middle School Gymnasium. My name's Derek Zemer and I teach a couple of the 6th grade bands here and do lessons for a couple of them, and so happy you're here for our spring concert. I think you're going to be truly amazed at what you're going to hear this evening. These students have been playing, they started in September. And so the process and the work they've put in, you're going to hear that tonight, kind of the evolution of what they started out with. Think about that fall concert, right? Even though it was videoed, right, because of the wonderful weather we had. Think about where they came from to tonight. It's pretty awesome. So in front of you is the 6th grade red and white band. We meet 5th hour each day. Red band on odd cycle days, white band on even cycle days. We're going to start out with a couple book songs for you. The first one is called Fit to be Tied, number 59. This one is teaching us how to tie notes together. So we have to do a little band math, as we like to call it, for this one, adding tied notes together and recognizing when to do that. So this is number 59, Fit to be Tied. Enjoy. So in this part of the book, early on this year, we were learning new notes, and we're still doing some of that, but this part of the book starts teaching more musical concepts and different things that build on everything we've learned so far. So this piece is number 67 in our book. It's called 3-Beat Jam, and the reason it's called that is we are in 3/4 time, so we're exploring different time signatures other than 4/4 and 2/4, which are rather simple. This one we're thinking about in 3, which adds a different dynamic to the music. You would think it would be a little easier being in 3 with one less beat, but it changes up our counting and how we do things. So this is 3-Beat Jam. We've got one more book song, and then we're going to get to some sheet music too, which will be really exciting. So this last book song is number 58 in the book, Hard Rock Blues. This is one of those songs, kind of like Hot Cross Buns. In 6th grade band, you have to play this one. We didn't get a chance to play this one in the winter concert, and so we had to make sure we do that now, because this time of year, all my seniors, when I go up to the high school, they come over and they go, "Are they playing Hard Rock Blues at this concert?" Yeah, they are. And all the seniors go, "Oh, I love that song." So here's Hard Rock Blues. We're going to put a repeat in there at the end, too, so you get to hear this song 2 times through. Enjoy. All right, so we played some book songs. The cool thing about winter and spring is we get to transition into sheet music. And so now, instead of just playing out of this lesson book, now we're getting fun and new songs to play that have different concepts, different techniques. They reinforce the things that we're working on in the lesson book, which is really fun. But they often had really cool things for us to do. So this first piece of music is called Rise of the Bladesmith by Brian Balmuges. And in this piece, you're going to hear a couple instruments that are really neat. Some kinds of music we play as a band just is made and composed to sound good. Some try to put a picture in your mind. Okay, make you imagine the composer's trying to put a picture in your mind, what's going on, what story the music is telling. So in Rise of the Bladesmith, we talked a little bit about what a bladesmith is, and what they do, and the idea that they're crafting this legendary weapon of some kind. And there's a special instrument, and I'm going to let you try and figure out what it is that is making our anvil kind of sound. So this is Rise of the Bladesmith. Enjoy. All right, did you hear the instrument? Yeah, our anvil was played in the back there. It's actually a brake drum from a car. The kids are like, what is this? I tried explaining it, and they're like, I don't know what that is yet. Give it a couple years. So anywho, brake drum for a car. We use that for our anvil sound. You hit it with a hammer, and it gets that really nice anvil sound we're looking for. So our next piece, we're going to change styles here for you. This will be the last piece that this group will play for you, and then we'll bring up Purple and Gold Band, who has awesome music for you as well. So this song is called Band Room Boogie. I'd be remiss if I didn't tell a dad joke here, but how do you make a napkin dance? You put a little boogie in it. So, I know, yeah, it's so funny you forgot to laugh. Anyway, so this is Band Room Boogie. You're gonna hear some really cool things in here. You're gonna hear some different section features of the band. So each part of the band's gonna get their own little like solely opportunity to play for you. So here's Band Room Boogie.
transition of the night. We're going to keep things moving along for you. As Mr. Zemer mentioned, we just heard the red and white bands that rehearsed during fifth hour. And now you have before you the combined purple and gold bands. Purple band rehearses during first hour on odd cycle days, and the gold band rehearses during first hour on even cycle days. We got to put these groups together for just, believe it or not, 17 minutes was all we had to rehearse together as a large group before this concert, sorry. But they've been working independently in class, and we are really excited to share our music with you tonight. The first piece that our group will be playing comes from our method book. It is number 61 in our book, and it's called Alouette. It is a French-Canadian folk song that many of you will recognize. And in learning this song, the students got to practice dotted half notes, which are notes that last for 3 counts. And we also got to practice ties, which connect notes together and make them last a little bit longer. So this one took a lot of mental focus to learn how to play. We hope that you enjoy Alouette. Designed specifically to teach a couple of concepts to our students. It's called New Directions, and for our woodwind players, it taught them a lower note than they've ever played before. And for our brass musicians, it taught them how to do something called skipping a partial, which means starting on a low note and then being able to make a jump way up high. And so this has been a great skill building exercise for the students. This is number 63, New Directions. Alluded to, these students have learned so much. 2 months ago was our March concert, and just a few months before that they were just playing Hot Cross Buns. And so it was really hard to choose just a sampling of songs to showcase tonight and keep things moving along. But we settled on one last book song for you. This is another one that I'm sure many of you will recognize. It's commonly known as the Mexican clapping song. It is a folk song that comes from southern Mexico, and the students had an opportunity to learn a little bit about sort of the traditions and history, a little bit of the culture of the Chiapas state in Mexico where this song comes from. And in terms of playing our instruments, it gave us an opportunity to work on 3/4 time. And so we will play the song for you 2 times through the Mexican hand clapping song. Thank you so much. We are now going to transition to our sheet music portion of the concert. And we are starting off with a song that kind of became an instant classic in our band room. I don't think a day has gone by since I handed out this music that I haven't heard the trombones and tubas and baritones playing their opening measures of this song. It is super catchy, it is super fun, and it also tells a story. The song is called Creatures in the Attic, and along with working on things like playing different dynamics or volume levels from very soft to very loud, we also got to learn about glissandos in the trombone section, so you'll get to see them moving their slide and creating a really interesting sound effect. And the band also got to learn how to play staccato notes, which means really short, crisp, choppy notes. But the students were insistent that I explain the story behind the piece. So there's a short poem that I'm going to read to you, written by the composer, Brian Balmages. And as you listen to this poem, I would invite you to start storyboarding in your mind, and then we'll find out if our performance matches the picture that you are going to be creating. So this is the poem for Creatures in the Attic. I have a little secret that I'll no longer keep, explaining lots of little sounds when everyone's asleep. Is that wind I hear outside or knocking at the door? It just might be my fuzzy friends making noise between each snore. They start off very quietly when all the lights go out. They check to make sure no one's watching, and then they start to dance about. Pretty soon they are going crazy. It's a midnight celebration. I'm glad they're having so much fun, but where's my invitation? As soon as dawn approaches, they start to settle down. Putting all their things away, they cease to make a sound. And then we wake up wondering, was that creaking or TV static? Others may wonder, but now you all know, it's just the creatures in your attic. We hope you enjoy. Before we begin our final piece, I do need to say a few thank yous, and I'll try and keep it brief because I know we're starting to melt in here just a little bit. First of all, a big thank you to our audience, our family, our parents, for supporting our student musicians, encouraging them to practice at home. They've made so much progress in their first year of playing, and Mr. Zimmer and I just can't wait to continue working with them as 7th graders next year and continue to hear this musical growth. I'd like to thank the custodial staff here at DMS for getting the space set up and maintaining our facilities so beautifully for our performances. Also, thank you to the faculty and staff and administration here at Discovery and in the district for supporting these music programs. Last but not least, I want to recognize the music staff. Here at Discovery, Mr. Zimmer and I are very lucky to work with Miss Lisa Blevins in our choir department. She helped set up for a lot of this performance. And also Mr. Dylan Tischer in our orchestra department. And the other person I need to recognize is Mr. Nick Mason. He is our high school band director, and he came to help the students out tonight, and he's sitting in the audience with them and supporting them. So huge thank you to the awesome people that we get to work with each day. At the conclusion of this final piece, the students will be heading back to the music area to pack up. We're going to ask that the audience member exits behind the red curtain and goes straight out to the foyer. Your students will meet you there. We're trying to avoid a big traffic jam. Percussion students, meet me and Mr. Zimmer downstage. We got some work to do on the drums. We are going to play our final selection for you this evening. It is called Let's Rock. It's a lot of fun. It moves fast. They get to play loud, but hopefully not too loud. Please enjoy the final performance of the 6th grade bands this spring.